Then we have a letter from Wyatt Glover, another frequent fan mailer. Okay, so we got a couple questions in here from Mr. Glover. First one, or it's not a question, it's a statement. He says, I should come out to Salt Lake City, Utah. Now, there's a pretty big Comic-Con in Salt Lake City. It's a different company than the one that I have connections to, or there's two that I have connections to now, and it's different from the two I have connections to. I don't know. I should look in to see if there's a way to make it happen. I'm looking to find new places to go on different parts of the country I haven't been before. It's a little bit tough because depending on the size of the event, it changes whether people show up or not. Like when I went to Portland, I met some people that it was cool. Some joined Patreon. Some a little talk to them frequently. It was great to meet them. But it's when it's a financial investment, and well, actually that trip had pretty big ramifications because the way the whole thing played out. But maybe it's more like Cleveland. We went to Portland. Did have several positives came from it, but it was a smaller event. And then I went to Cleveland. It was another really small event, and I'm not paid to go to these, and so I cover my own airfare, hotel cost, and I'm away from my family for several days. And in Cleveland, it was really low turnout. Even despite it was me, Burke, Flick Pick, it was it was full blown. It was just discouraging. And they also put us in a room that seated 1,000 people. And it was way down a hallway. So it was even to find it, you had to look for it. And then we're in this gigantic room that highlighted the fact that the turnout wasn't very good. And the turnout for their event wasn't very good, which was the problem. If no one shows up to Fan Expo Cleveland, no one's going to show up to our panel either. And we saw Christopher Lloyd, Doc Brown, 1,000 other incredible things standing. No one is in line to see him. He's just sitting there. This was a dead event. And it was the great thing about that one is I spent the weekend with Austin Burke and the Flick Pick. That was awesome. Having adventures with them, letting Austin know about Roth IRAs and index funds. But as an investment of my time and resources, it was a bad investment because it was a dud event and there just weren't many people there. And that was actually really discouraging. Luckily, MegaCon was the next weekend, which was great and encouraging. But so that's where I kind of look at it of is the event big enough? Do people show up? Are enough of my fans there? Is it in an area that can draw from multiple cities? So that is it a wise place to invest traveling, investing time, investing in a hotel? And if it is, I would love to do it. Are there other YouTubers in the area that I could do a team up or whatever? That's what I start thinking. Those are the pieces that what's the whole package? So I don't know if I need to do research to see if Salt Lake City is that. What's your most anticipated movies of the rest of the year? At this point in time, Ferrari, Rebel Moon. I guess a little bit of Aquaman 2. I'm kind of anticipating that one. So there's several dramas and things like that I'm kind of interested in. But Rebel Moon would be the big one. Most anticipated 2024. I'll have a video on that in a month or so. I have to stop and think about it. I'm not really thinking about 2024. I'm trying to watch awards films because I'm in a critics association, so I have to nominate movies for in a few days. So I'm trying to get as many prestige films as I can watched in the next week. And then did I miss any hit films or awful films for my end of the year? That's where my brain is at. I'm not thinking about next year quite yet. And then you asked a question that you DM'd me about earlier today, which is, do I watch any adult animated shows? And not really. What I watch is what I cover for the large part, plus Lego Masters and stuff like that. Or it's more adult dramas. But what I watch, I cover on my channel, so you kind of know what it is from that. So yeah, there's not too many more exciting ones to mention. All right, we got here. Okay. Okay. Oh, this is fun. This is fun. So we've got Werewolf by Night Black and White Edition Funkos. So that's cool. I actually saw Elsa at Bloodstone, the not Werewolf by Night one at Walgreens, and I was thinking about it, and this is the much more fun pairing. Right there. Very cool. That's cool. And then one Jack Skellington right there in addition. Final one, big package from, oh, I'm gonna put your address on there. Final one, big package from Mr. Skinner. Woo-hoo-hoo! Well, you are trying to outdo yourself today. What on earth do we have in here? Wowzers. Just right here, I'm gonna have to add a new shelf behind me, and I've run out of shelves to add behind me. Wow. You are definitely competing with some neat this month. First up, we've got Young Guns. Somehow I've never seen Young Guns, which is wild because I like Westerns. I like this batch of people. So the fact that I haven't seen it is weird. Speaking of films I haven't seen, Arachnophobia. I've never seen Arachnophobia. I remember when the trailers came out. I remember people talking about it. I've never seen Arachnophobia, which is wild. All right. Oh, you sent me this one in a mail earlier. So you sent me two copies of Hugo. So now I can watch it upstairs and downstairs at the same time. Finding Neverland, a movie that my wife actually really enjoys. I'm not sure if I've watched it with her or not, but I believe my wife really enjoys that one. We have The Island, the Michael Bay production right here. A different kind of film from him, while still being very Michael Bay. We have Passengers, the Jennifer Lawrence, Chris Pratt film that, yeah, I like sci-fi, so I thought it was interesting. I bought into it. There's some people weren't crazy about it. I did like it. Then we've got True Grit, the Coen brothers remake Western, and the movie where this Haley right here, Sandfeld really got put on the map. Like, they put her in this movie, big hit, great reviews, and so much of it is based on, can this little girl act? Turns out she could act, and she has kind of been showing up in movies and everything ever since, and is, you know, in the MCU and all of that fun stuff. So it all started, like, she might have had credits before that, but that was the one where it's like, who's this girl that's like standing on her own next to Jeff Bridges and Matt Damon and Josh Brolin? We got Tombstone, another classic 90s Western, which, you know, I've seen many times. The Other Guys, fun one of them, the Adam McKay comedies. Adam McKay comedy, doing an action movie, very much my thing. The Usual Suspects, the Bryan Singer film. Actually, this was McQuarrie, right? Yeah. Christopher McQuarrie wrote the script for it, and so it like put McQuarrie on the map as a screenwriter and Singer on the map as a director. And one has one of the more famous plot twists of all time. Flight. I have not seen this one, so you need to check this one out. When you got a Robert Zemeckis film that with Denzel Washington, I've never seen it. That's a little weird. We got Willow, a film that I grew up watching. That maybe it doesn't live up to being as good as you would hope it would be, being that it's George Lucas doing a classic fantasy film after Star Wars. It's not as good as you'd hope that would be, but that doesn't mean that it's not good. And I would say it is good. Natural Born Killers. This is an interesting one because Quentin Tarantino wrote the script but didn't direct it. There's a couple of those out there. One of these days I want to do a video on the other Quentin Tarantino films. True Romance, Tony Scott directed it. Natural Born Killers, Oliver Stone directed it. From Dusk Till Dawn, Rodriguez directed it. And then there was Four Rooms. There's a set of these other things that he was a big part of, but also aren't one of his movies. And I need to do that ranking whenever his next film comes out. The Blob. I have never seen The Blob or any version of The Blob. So someday I gotta fix that. Which one is the 80s one? Yeah, it's the 80s one. Oh, I didn't realize Chuck Russell directed. Wait. Screenplay by Frank Darabont. How did I miss that? Frank Darabont? Shawshank Redemption? Green Mile? The Mist? Season 1 of The Walking Dead? How did I miss that he wrote The Blob? Like, I knew he did some Freddy stuff, but I didn't know about that one. Then we got the Barbie movie in 4K. So I can see if I'm Ken enough tonight with the whole family. We got Rise of the Beasts. My wife grew up on the what was it? Beast Wars, whatever it was. She grew up on that version of Transformers, so she was real excited about this one. Had a lot of fun with it. I don't think I took Liam, not her, to the press screening, so she's kind of disappointed by that and wanted to check it out as soon as she could. So very cool. We have Red Dawn, the Chris Hemsworth version. We have a dual feature of Night titled movies, A Knight's Tale and First Knight. I remember when First Knight came out, that was kind of a big deal because it was so Richard Gere on top of the world, Sean Connery, during kind of his elder years. And then A Knight's Tale, I have not seen that one. Oh, great, awesome. Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3, 4K. Obviously, I loved the film, loved the Guardians, and now I can watch it in pristine 4K. Another one that I loved this year, Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, saw this one with Austin Burke and Flickinger when in Cleveland. Actually, we literally were in Cleveland, emailed people to get on a press list in Cleveland, drove to see this one at the press screening in Cleveland, rushed back to the convention center to get to our panel. And then we started off our panel like, you guys are the first to hear this. Here's what we thought about it. That's literally what happened, which was pretty fun. But I thought this movie was a blast, and a severely underwatched film this year. The Last of Us Blu-ray set. I loved the show. Still playing through the game, but the show was great, so that's pretty cool. And finally, the 4K steelbook of Ender's Game, based off the classic book, which is why it's a movie that plays on loop on one of the default channels for my television. My television like has all these, I don't even know what they are, but like internet-based channels. So whenever my PlayStation 5 turns off, it converts over to one of these generic channel things. And one of the channels is the Ender's Game channel. And so my wife goes, what's that space movie with Harrison Ford? Star Wars? Oh, no, the one from like 10 years ago. The Force Awakens? Oh, no, the other one. Like Ender's Game. Based off the classic sci-fi novel, which I'm pretty sure you and I have watched together. So now we could watch it properly. All right, very cool. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry it took me so long to respond, to get to all of this. Life has been crazy busy. It's like the last 2.5 months, it's just been a sprint. And then last week was Thanksgiving. I got past the sprint, but then it was Thanksgiving, so it was like time off, family time. Beginning of this week was my birthday, and now it's like, I can breathe again. This is what normal feels like. I finally made it back to normal just a little bit. Thank you guys so much for your generosity. If you want to send me mail, the link's down below in the description. And keep talking fan mail too much? I didn't even know how to end this one. Bye-bye.